Well, good morning and welcome to Zen Fits here in Blackstone, Virginia, the center of the world. The center of the world. And the topic of this talk is what is one finger Zen? One finger Zen. Now let's hang in here with me. We're gonna try to figure this out. One of my favorite koans is Goutes' finger. G-U-T-E-I, Goutes' finger. He was a Zen master back in the golden age of Chinese Zen. Well, it's around 800 to 1200 BC, back in there. And most of all of our Zen koans come from that era. But Goutes would always hold up, when anybody asked him what Zen was, he would hold up his finger. And he was known as one finger Zen. So he had a monk, a disciple, who was asked by people, what does Goutes mean with, what does he teach? And the monk would hold up his finger. One finger Zen. Now when Goutes saw that, he came running over and cut the finger off. And the monk, screaming in disbelief, ran away, and Goutes called. And when the monk turned, Goutes held up a finger and smiled. And the monk was enlightened. Now, that's a Zen koan. Now, what was the one finger? What did Goutes' finger mean? Two fingers. Why did he cut the monk's finger off? Why was it the right finger, wrong finger? What is it? This is a puzzle. You can't really intellectually come up with any solution to it. It's absurd. But by the way, with these Zen koans, these stories, don't get hung up in literalism, say, oh my God, that's horrible, cutting off a man's finger. It's not about that. This is a teaching koan. Who knows if it's actually happened? It's a teaching koan, not one to get horrified. Oh, that's stupid. Why cut off a man's finger? He should be put in jail. That's missing the point. That's choosing another finger. If you say that, you're going to get it cut off. So whatever you say is Goutes' finger, you're going to lose your finger. You see? Or do you? So I wrote a little bit today, was this on Facebook, and I said I can't remember what I wrote, but the idea was you cannot get to Goutes' finger by choosing which finger was right. Just as you cannot escape eating ice cream by choosing vanilla. So we're kind of like trying to get to the idea of what the one is. We all do this. We point, here's the famous Zen finger. That's the one. Right? That's Goutes' finger in a ironic way. But the one, this finger right here, when you say what's the one, we don't hold up that. That has a different meaning, right? Can't hold this one up. This one, of course, means fuck you, and this one means Goutes' finger. Or this one means thumbs up. Yeah, right? What does this finger mean? This is the pointer. My mother would always, she would go to the meat counter at Costco and be all this beautiful meat, and she would be going around with her little finger, and she would be trying to figure out which one she wanted, pork chops, this, with that, anyway. But anyway, you get the idea of this one finger. What is the one? In other words, we're looking at choice here. The tyranny of choice. The paralysis of choice. The movie Hurt Locker was about this. The Hurt Locker was about choice. Our hero, forgot his name, was a deconstructed bombs, IUDs, in Iraq. And he would have all these wires. And he would have to choose which one to cut. And he would say, well, there is no choice. You're either alive or dead. So you can't, if you choose wrong, there is no you there to experience the wrong choice. Choice means right or wrong, good or bad, and I can choose the wrong one and then I'll get the bad one, or I'll have bad karma, or people won't like me, or I'll be in error, I'll be at fault, you see. So I want to make the right choice. What is the right choice, you see? But it is, in our culture, we live in a economic system, consumerism, that worships choice. You can't have enough choices. Go to the ice cream store. Every time you go, oh, there's a new ice cream. I'll choose that. I tried all the others. What's new? And The Hurt Locker, of course, was about the famous scene where he goes to the market to get a cereal, and he's in a canyon of cereal. Every time you go to Walmart, you see that. You got a whole aisle of cereal from one end to the thing to the other. Choices. And it's all the same corn or wheat, you see. But there's a new one. I'll choose that. I've had all the other experiences. I want a new experience. So we choose to get a new experience. We don't like old experiences. We don't like the same food. We want to have a new experience, a new choice. You see, we'll go to a restaurant. Oh, look at all the choices. What's new? What's new? Oh, I'll choose that. I've had all the others. I've had them. I want a new experience. So this whole fabric we've created is about having new experiences, because our everyday experience is boring. I want something new. I want to go out. I want to meet new people. You see, I don't want to meet the same old people. I don't want to have the same old choices. So punishment is taking away choices. You go to jail, you have no choices. You go to solitary confinement, you have fewer choices, you see. So punishment in our culture is taking away choices. Freedom is adding more choices. And since you can't have enough freedom, you can't have enough choices. So choices keep proliferating endlessly. The stores getting bigger because of the choices. I bet if you go to Walmart and narrow the choices of every product, and you narrow it down to one, so there's no choice, you just take that, you see, the store would be a third of its size. But then we would say, well, that's communism. Communism, the great fear of communism in our mind is, oh, well, there's no choice, you just have one loaf of bread. No choice is no freedom, you see. Ironically, the monk, the idea of monasticism, of spiritual freedom, of Thoreau, is simplify. Simplify down to one, you see. Down to one. Now, what is the one? It's not just one ice cream. You go to the ice cream store, what do you got? Vanilla. Well, you go to the next, what do you got? Vanilla. You see, we're not talking about that. It's fun to talk about, but that's not what we're really looking at. So let's go back to the Hurt Locker, and we got this existential person who lives, and he goes back to Iraq. Can't take civilization because he can't stand the false choice, the shallowness of it. He wants to go back to the vitality, the urgency of life when you don't have a choice. When you're deconstructing a bomb, you're either alive or dead. You see? So that's kind of like down to the one choice. What is it? Since there's no map. So the idea, what we're working with here is the Zen finger, is Goutes' finger. What is the one that is not two? So and Krishnamurti calls this the choiceless choice. In other words, there's no duality here. There's no two. In the Hurt Locker with the bomb, there is no right or wrong choice, because if you disconnect the wrong wire, you're fucked. So that's not a choice, you see. The choice is that you are there. The idea, the principle behind the choice is that you are there to experience the pain of the wrong choice. You're there. You must be there to experience the pain of the wrong. You're going to hell. That's the wrong choice, you see. Choose God. If you don't choose God, you're choosing the devil. That's a choice, God or the devil. This or that. You got to have two for a choice, you see. And you have to be able to experience, be guilty, be shameful of choosing the wrong choice. That's the way it works. You go to choose something in the store. It's not what I thought. I made the wrong choice. You see, so there's good and bad. This goes back to the Garden of Evil. Garden of Evil. Garden of Eden. Maybe it was the Garden of Evil. See, when the apple was given to Adam and Eve, it was a choice. Choice was given. And with that proliferation of choice, once that apple was there and divided into two, the butcher of choice keeps dividing it into smaller and smaller choices. And so now we end up from the Garden of Eden, where choice was invented, and now we have come to Walmart and Costco. We can't have universal health care because that's the one. We got to have choices, you see. So everything, in our whole culture, we have reached the point where we are polluted and corrupted and paralyzed by choices, and we can't get back to the one. I hate to get back into politics, but Trump was elected as Goutes' finger. I'm the one, he said. The left is the monk's finger. We'll cut that off. I'm the one. Or was Trump the monk, and he wanted to cut off Goutes' finger. So he's the one, you see. Anyway, I get there. But you get the point, is that we are trying to get a grapple on the choiceless choice, or Goutes' finger. What is the one? Well, you experience this all the time, but we don't really realize it. Go back to the Hurt Locker. So he's standing there, he's got to get this cereal, and they're all the same. So he just grabs one and throws it in the basket and walks out. When you don't know what to choose in a situation, you just grab, but you got to choose. You just grab anything. Doesn't make any difference. They're all the same. So I've got in the other room here, I've got, they're not now, but my uncle left me 500 martini glasses. Where's a martini glass? Here's a martini. Well, he always had lemon twist. So I will ask a couple in, and I'll say, have a all these glasses, martini glass collection. You can each have one. Choose one. And so the wife, usually, the woman, will look at them and say, oh, I love that, and she'll pick it. And the man will be kind of like the guy in Hurt Locker. Just they all look the same. I can't choose. And the wife will notice, and she'll pick one. How about this one, honey? He'll say, oh, that's the one. Thank you. That choice relieved him of the anxiety of not being able to choose, because they all look the same. So there's an anxiety there. Oh, by the way, hope you didn't choose that. But the point is, there's an anxiety when you can't choose. There's an anxiety when everything looks the same and you can't, but you must choose because you're the chooser. If you're a man, I'm the decider, I'm the chooser. Don't tell me how to get there. I know, I'm the one. You see, so we want to get to, so when we can't be the one, the chooser, we have anxiety, and we ask someone else to choose for us because somebody has to choose, and I can't do it, you see. Zen is the discovery that you are the one. But the one that is not two. In other words, go to the ice cream store, and you got all these choices. Which one do you want? And they're all ice cream. They're all ice cream. So you just say, I don't care. I don't care. I don't care. Just give me anything. Just give me the soldier, the Hurt Locker guy. He just grabs anyone, puts in there. So the choiceless choice is spontaneously just doing your impulse. In other words, it's very difficult to explain this. But the liberation from choice is when whatever you do is okay. When they're all the same, whatever you choose is okay. If you choose chocolate, if you choose raspberry, it's okay. It's all ice cream. It's okay, just choose anything. But it's not just choosing anything, it's the surrender of see, this is words fail here. So I'm just going to drop it with Goutes' finger. Ponder that. Thanks for dropping in.